excitement today. Thank you. Hi, Shahnawaz. Thank you for joining the session.
Oh, oh,
How are you doing?
wonderful, wonderful. How about you?
Brilliant. Can't get better. And thank you for joining us. And I've been actually thinking of getting time from you and, get you online and get talking after the very first time I met you. That was, I think, about 2 years back.
Almost, yeah, almost.
Yes, 2.5, 3 years, I think. Close to 3 years now.
1 year you
Or
should
two.
forget. 1 year you should forget.
ओके तो आपने उसको डिस्काउंट कर दिया 1 ईयर.
1 year has gone the drains. Actually, the second half of last year was pretty decent. I
Okay.
was able to do lots of trainings almost every weekend,
Okay. Wow,
which was
that's
good.
wonderful. I
Yeah.
wish I could have been a part of one of those.
You were weekend on wheels, and I was
Wheels
training
Guru.
on weekends. Training on weekends.
Yes, yes, yes. That's brilliant. So we'll just wait for another 2, 3 minutes before everyone comes to know about this live session. And guys, whoever joined now, keep ready with your questions. We will take a lot of audience question and one thumb rule. Only questions which go under a Q&A section only will be taken and not on the comment section, because there would be a lot of conversation happening, and in that we will end up losing those questions, and going back and scrolling in between becomes very difficult, because I want to be it in a very structured manner. I have certain set of questions which is already planned for Shahnawaz, so be ready for those bouncer questions. And similarly, once my questions are done in between, wow, that's a lovely background. Yes. And yes, Balaji, please keep your questions in the Q&A section and not on the comment section. Don't add any questions in the comment box. Please make it very structured, and only questions which are in the Q&A section will be answered. None of the other questions will be answered. Not to disappoint you guys, but then it becomes very, very difficult once we start getting conversation, and once the audience develop, it becomes extremely difficult for me and also to Shahnawaz to keep a track of this. So ideally, let it be organized. And the first 15 minutes, I have my questions. I will introduce Shahnawaz, who is he, what does he do, and all of it. And then we will have a 15 minutes Q&A from my end, and then we'll take public questions. And be ready with any questions to do with adventure riding and enduro riding. And you are just about in the right place today to get an expert opinion from the person. So I think we are almost, yes, touching 6:30. So yes, just to give a little introduction about Shahnawaz. So Shahnawaz is the only Indian who's been certified by IIA, which is International Instructors Academy, Germany, and he's also the brainchild and the founder behind ULKA gears, and it is one of the only jacket in the country which can be converted into a backpack as well. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Not just in the country, in the world.
In the world. Okay, sorry, I wasn't aware of that.
That's
Brilliant.
fine.
So yes, so the jacket which is been developed and invented by Shahnawaz, like I mentioned, Ulka Gaze, is the only jacket in the country which can, or in the world, sorry, again, in the world, which can convert into a backpack, and you guys must go watch that. So let's straight away start. I think the numbers gonna increase going forward. I will start with my very first question. Please introduce yourself. I've given a brief introduction about your current profile and what do you do right now and all of it, but then otherwise in general, please introduce yourself and where are you from, and a little bit about your educational background.
Oh, of course. So hi, I'm Shahnawaz Karim, and right now I'm experimenting my life with motorcycles. That's how I would put it. I've given myself 4 or 5 years since 2018 to
Okay.
develop something around motorcycles and take it to a really upscale level.
Mhm.
And as a part of that whole thing is it's revolving around three core principles. One is training, the other one is safety and products, and the third thing is content. So the thought process behind this is that there is a one-to-one connect, which is me training people. There is a one-to-many connect, which is my products for the people, and then many-to-many, which is content shared across. So
Brilliant.
that's how it is. I have structured. So I do motorcycle and adventure riding training. I specialize in big adventure motorcycles. When I say big adventure motorcycles, that doesn't stop me to ride small bikes, but
Yes.
the physics are slightly different on big adventure motorcycles. I am also an inventor for ULKA gear, and is the world's first jacket that can convert into a backpack. And there are many more things which are coming in pipeline under ULKA gear. And I also run a website called wheelsguru.com, where I share content related to motorcycles primarily, and yeah, that's a background. And
Okay.
about my education,
Yes.
I'm born and brought up in Delhi, and I'm a bachelor's in psychology, and I've been a marketer for almost 14 years, working with
Okay.
various corporates, startups, at senior leadership positions as well. And then I decided that, been there, done that, all of those things, need to do something from scratch. So every 3 to 4 years or 5 years, what I do is that I go back and then I start things from scratch. That's how I
Okay.
believe to reinvent myself.
Okay.
And yeah, that's me. And yeah, go ahead.
I think psychology education has probably helped you a lot to go back. Like you rightly mentioned, every 5 to 6 years you go back and you want to start something from the scratch, and
Right.
that has definitely worked on your favor. And you are what you are today in terms of doing one of the best training to a lot of students who aspire to be big bike riders, not just big bike, even could be a small capacity, a quarter liter biking as well. You train everybody, and I think that's one of the best things that our country could have got from someone like you. So, thank you, Shahnawaz, for being what you are today in the last 5 years.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. The only thing that an individual can do is try.
Yes.
What I would always say, keep on trying, and that's what I say in my trainings as well. Try and try until you succeed.
Okay. And just to give
Yes.
a little more info about your personal life, as in, are you the only sibling, or do you have brothers, or how is it? Are you
Yeah.
the only son in the house?
So no. So I have a younger brother. His name is Sarfraz. He's advocate on record in Supreme Court. I'm married. My wife works in her corporate
Corporate.
life.
Okay.
I have a three-year-old daughter, and with her I am spending some quality time in the last 2 to 3 years. So yeah, that's how I would put things over here.
Yeah, your brother is just online, Sarfraz Karim. Hi, Sarfraz.
Yeah.
He's, your brother has just mentioned about yourself, and there you are, 100 years life. That is what they say. Yaad kiya aur hazir ho gaye. Yeah, hi Pratik, hi Sandy, hi to everyone who's live right now with us. So, can you just briefly uh, tell us your achievements in the motorcycle genre in the last couple of years to all our audience? I know what you've done and where you've been, so I would like you to tell your achievements.
Honestly, I believe that I haven't achieved that much. I would say these are some of the milestones that I have been able to just tick in the boxes. So
Okay.
I have raced on motorcycles, as in circuit racing. I have participated in rallies. I have
Oh,
participated in various adventure tours. I have led many people, many groups on various adventure tours. So that's a structure behind majority of the things. Along with
okay.
that, I'm a national champion in my category for circuit racing in 2018. I did Red Himalaya in 2018. I did certified instructor, the certification which I got, that was also in 2018. So 2018 was a
I
very
think
good year for me.
that's exactly a
And
milestone
2018,
achieving year.
so my daughter was also born that
Wow,
year. So, so I would say, that's really important for a person's life, that you should have supporting family. So my parent never stopped me from doing or trying things on my own, which is why I was a risk taker from the beginning. My wife
okay.
supported me a lot
I think that's
to
very important.
yeah, yeah. So and then when I decided that I need to do something on my own, I got to spend a lot of good quality time of the formative years of my daughter with me. So I think
Brilliant,
that's what as a balance that I took.
brilliant. And as a child, did you always think that you would be a motorcycle racer or a trainer or whatever? Or what was your dream as a child? What you wanted to become as
So
a,
I'll tell you
grown up?
some more background. I have been associated with sports from the beginning. So
Okay,
I've represented Delhi State in 400 meter and 800 meter in the nationals. Okay,
okay,
and that means I'm a district champion. I'm a state level
okay.
champion. So I've done that. I was very keen with sports, and I think when I first got a hang of a motorcycle, that was the moment. I think when I was 15 or 16, when my uncle he brought his motorcycle, which was a Splendor only, right? And I got
Okay.
hold of that. No, sorry, actually, Splendor and an RX 100 both. So I
Wow.
got hold
Okay.
of that. So I thought that this is something that I could try. And then suddenly, I used to do cycling a lot at that point of time. So my dad saw me cycling at really high speed, and then he figured out that it's a race gene that he has.
So, your dad also comes from something like this, some similar background in terms of
No, no, no,
either.
no, no, no,
Okay,
no, no.
no.
So my dad was a deputy registrar in Supreme Court of India.
Okay.
My grandfather. So my family comes from lawyers, barristers background.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
I am the only outlaw.
So you always need to have an outlaw in a family, and do different thing and explore different part of your lifestyle and all of it. And I think you're the one who've done that in your family.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, moving on to my next question. Who's your inspiration currently from the world of motorcycle?
I really, I'm a avid believer of multi genres of
Okay.
motorcycling. So I like track riding. I like high pace riding, as well as I like really technical slow speed riding. Okay, so one of the guys, which is Graham Jarvis, I
Mm-hmm.
really love his riding style, the way he rides in
Okay.
hard enduro. The other guys definitely is Toby Price in rallies, right?
Okay.
And definitely Valentino Rossi in the circuit side. So
Who
these
doesn't?
are yeah, so these are those inspirations with which
Okay.
you can figure out. In fact, one more guy, which was actually my trainer, Bernd
Okay.
Kiemer. So Bernd
Okay.
Kiemer from Germany. He's co-founder of Enduro Action Team in Leipzig. So
Mm-hmm.
he's one of the inspirations. So he trained me on a lot of things in Enduro Park Andalusia.
Okay.
And he was one of the guys who certified me as an instructor. I really
Okay.
look up to him, and I was glad to have worked with him as well. So it was
Okay.
nice. Yeah.
Okay. So, also wanted to give a little more in-depth knowledge about what is adventure riding vis-a-vis what is enduro riding. If you could just put a little light on that and tell our audience what is the difference between
Sure.
these two.
Sure. So I would say adventure riding is more like when you are going out and riding with your friends. It's just that
Okay.
it is more finding new places, exploring new things, along with various avenues of doing a trip, reaching to a place, and then exploring
Okay.
more with everything with you, right? With your
Okay.
panniers, with your everything, and doing that safely. That's really really important. We've seen that many people go on amazing rides. They fall down, and then that fall leaves a scar in their riding ecosystem. So that's what I believe. Enduro is more like a professional segment which has developed. Earlier it was
Mhm.
recreational. Now it has also become professional,
Okay.
which means that there are obstacles and there are courses which has been given to you, and you perform your riding on those obstacles, and then there are it is more like on a rally style that it is.
Okay.
Matched with the speed and time, etc., etc. However, it's more about skills and what you can achieve in the least amount of time and reach at the end of the section.
Okay.
Covering all of those obstacles over there. I think
Okay.
this has evolved primarily from the trials kind of riding style, which you will see that those motorcycles
Okay.
which don't have the the seats. Uh, People like Tony Bow and all of these guys, they do a lot of trials, showcase in their Instagram handle as well. So all those guys who want to check what is trials riding, just go and
Okay.
see that, because I think that as a style, that as a segment creates creates a lot of core riding skill, builds a lot of core riding skills. I converted one of my motorcycles into more like a trials motorcycle so that I could practice on that, because we don't have any of
Okay.
those in India.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Hi everybody who's just saying hi to us, both of us, and also keep your questions ready. In another 5 minutes, I'm going to take all your questions. So please send your questions in the Q&A section, and we'll take all those questions in next 5 minutes. Anything to do with your adventure riding and enduro riding, just explained by Shanawa. So you have any queries at all in that genre, please feel free to ask. We will get there. And my next question would be, yes, you told me that your first motorcycle experience was with Splendor, but apart from that, you have any childhood memories of riding any other scooter motorcycle, like maybe you're a 10-year-old, slowly sneaking into your dad's scooter, taking it out, those memories?
Yes. So my dad was a car guy. So
Okay.
he used to take us, me and my brother, to these statesman rallies. These were,
Okay.
like vintage car rallies which used to happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
In fact, at some point of time, one of my ambassadors was also part of that statesman car rally in, I think
Okay.
it was in 94. Yeah, I must be
Okay.
8 years old or so. So,
Okay.
yeah. So the thing is that in those vintage car rallies, there were also very old motorcycles which used to be there. So Rajdoot was one of those. Uh, there
Yes.
was there was old Harleys which used
A
to
lot
come
of
over
them in
there.
Delhi, especially.
A lot of them in Delhi. There were few motorcycles which had been salvaged from those tuk-tuks. You remember the
Exactly.
World
I was
War,
just
the
going to
World
say that.
War.
Yes.
So the World War II had a lot of Harleys which were shipped to India as those
Tuk-tuks.
motorcycles for the army guys. Yes, I'm forgetting the
Yes.
exact name of that Patpatia. Yeah, Patpatia. They used
Or
to
the
call
rickshaw
that.
wala types.
Yeah, but it was actually a Harley
Yeah.
Davidson front,
Correct.
and the rear was
Rear was
a
the,
rickshaw.
yes, the
Rear was
carrier.
actually a rickshaw. Yeah.
Yes.
So that was some of those Harleys were salvaged and converted back to its original form and part over there. But I distinctly remember that I always used to and my family was my father was specifically was very against me riding motorcycle after that incident when he saw me riding my cycle really fast. So he said that I will not allow you to buy. Sorry, I will not buy you a motorcycle. So I said, okay. Then what
I
I
will
did
buy
that I
myself.
bought, I will buy my own. So I bought a couple of motorcycles. So at that point of time, CBZ was one of the
So you're talking about 2000 then?
yeah, 2002. 2002, I bought
Okay.
a CBZ, which was one of those motorcycles which I could afford. Next year, I bought an RX 100, an RD 350, and then
Oh wow.
and then
So
it was just
a rotation.
yeah,
So do you
rotation.
have all those motorcycles still in your garage, or you've
No,
updated them?
I've sold them. I've sold them all. Right now, I have two motorcycles. One is a KTM
Impulse.
390 Duke and an Impulse with a
Yes.
Charisma engine. I've kept that
Okay.
because I should have at least one of the motorcycles. And the KTM, I was getting really bad price for for after
Okay.
sales. So I thought might as well keep it.
Okay.
And because I'm training with various brands, be it Triumph, Ducati, BMW, and I do a lot of trainings with BMW Motorrad. So I get to ride a lot of motorcycles, and if I hang on to a single motorcycle, then it becomes really difficult for me to justify the ROI of that motorcycle because in 2018 I rode my motorcycle only 2 days. Okay.
I can imagine that. I can totally
Yeah.
imagine what you're saying.
Apart from the impulse being part in the Red Himalaya rally, apart from that, nothing else. That's what I rode. So then I decided
Okay.
that no need to invest in a motorcycle separately.
Okay. So moving on to my next question, what made you to actually get into this career, or I'm not too sure if you want to mention it as career, but into this profession
Yeah.
in the last 5 years?
Yeah. So I would say that uh, I'm more of a risk taker, and I go with the flow and with my gut feeling. And when it was not just adventure riding, it was three
Okay.
things which were happening at that point of time. ULKA gear, wheels grew. So there
Okay.
were a few more things which were happening, and my trainings were also going successfully. So then I decided that might as well focus on one thing rather than doing multiple things. So my nine to
Okay.
five job as a marketer was taking away a lot of time from the family, right? So
Okay.
I thought if I'm focusing on this, let me focus 100% and then give my 100% into it. It is not
Okay.
about money. It's not about glamour. It's about getting things done. Okay.
Okay.
Tomorrow, if I feel that apart from this, if there is something else that I need to do, like take for example, if I want to start singing, I will let go of one thing, right? I'm not saying that either of these, but I will let go of something which will with which I can take out that time and give it to like singing, you
Correct.
know.
Correct.
And I'm not saying
Correct.
that I will start singing.
I know, I know that that's the exact reason I didn't use the word career. I said
Exactly.
rather
Yeah.
profession, this profession, and
Yeah.
what got you into that. And another question of mine would be, where did you train yourself first? As in, even before getting on to IIA, where did you train
Mhm.
yourself first? Was it self-learning, or did you attend any training school?
See, there was a lot of self-learning, and there was a lot of guided trainings as well. So I've got myself trained from Rawhide Adventures in US. I've got myself trained from California Superbike School in US. I've got myself trained from Off-Road Skills in UK. from Simon Pavey, on various levels of things. And then I got myself, myself into a lot of practice and riding. So I used to go out and identify that these are the 5 things that I need to do while I go out and ride. So it's not that on a weekend that I put on my gear, hop on the motorcycle, go to the trails, ride and come back. No, it's about doing those 5 exercises as many times as possible
Time.
and all of that. Yeah. So that's
Consistency,
how.
basically.
Yes, yes. So that's more than consistency. I would say it's more discipline to be built in, and then
Okay.
work towards that. And that discipline,
Okay.
brought a lot of things. Which, if you look into a photograph of me taking a turn, you will feel that it's a textbook. It's a textbook look, right?
Okay.
It looks good on photograph, right? And that has not come from just a single training. That has not come just through going on trails ride. It has come through a lot of practice, lots of time spent while standing and riding and doing those things exactly the way I want to. Lots of falls as well. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So just coming back from the point you just mentioned that you've trained in multiple schools, how cheap or how costly are these training classes, and for how many days do they go?
Yeah, yeah. So the kind of training that I provide, and the kind of training that I've gone through, there's huge gap in terms of cost, but there is
Okay.
very less gap in terms of the value that I derive. And I was giving you a
Okay.
parity towards that.
Okay.
So
Got it.
just an example, California Superbike School training. It's a 3-day training that I did in Sonoma Racetrack was for
Mm-hmm.
$2,700 in 2015 or 16. Yeah, in 2015.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so $2,700 plus two
Travel,
thousand.
stay.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. And this is just California Superbike School. Then I did Rawhide, which was for $3,000. Okay, which was
Okay.
once again a 3-day thing. Off-road skills first 2-day advanced training, which was for I think 1,900 euros, and then another rally navigation training that I did that was for I think 1,600 euros.
मोटा मोटा
Sorry,
पंद्रह
1,600
हजार
pounds.
डॉलर मोटा
हाँ
मोटा
हाँ
पंद्रह
हाँ
हजार डॉलर
$15,000. $15,000 में तो you get multiple super bikes.
with the training.
With training.
Yeah, yeah.
So how I would say is that a lot of people, they invest in motorcycles. Yes, I also did invest in motorcycle, but I also invested in myself.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, so that's the
So,
thing.
what do you like personally? More of adventure riding or enduro riding?
I like all forms. I like all forms. So if if you ask me, it's on the mood. Like, take for example, if I see 3 bikes given in front of me, and today I can see that the weather is nice, and there's an adventure motorcycle at disposal, I would want to take it out for an adventurous ride. If you want me to, if you say that last night I had a bad thought about a lot of things. Morning, I will want to go on a racetrack on a solo bike
Okay.
and do laps. Yeah.
So we've got one question. So we'll start taking questions from our audience. So we've got one question from Prateek saying, any
Right.
revolutionary product coming up from ULKA gears?
Hey, Prateek. So, as of now as well, whatever is there is revolutionary itself. Okay. However, there are, as any product company or any organization, There are many more other products which are in pipeline. It is just that everything takes its time. I am not that kind of person who launches things in haste. I want to try it. The first ULKA jacket, I tested it for almost like 2 years.
Wow, that's a
So
huge time.
yeah. So it was not just quality test in terms of the product, and it was more like a use case test. Brought it. I'm just giving you a perspective towards that.
Okay. So we've got another question from somebody called I am Dush, saying that how
Yes,
can one keep himself
sure.
off this never-ending urge of keeping upgrading a new motorcycle? I know it was wrong question for a biker. Okay, so if you want to answer that,
Yeah, so I think it's a relevant question as well. So if you are a biker and you keep investing in upgrading to the next motorcycle, you are living, right? You are living. You are not having a dull life, because every day you look forward towards something new in your life. You have set a new goal. It is almost like
yeah,
if you look into your life, and if you say that, I want to be a millionaire, okay, and then once you have been there, what next? It's the same thing as a motorcyclist, but with a lot more emotions. However, if you want to keep yourself never, going into that urge, I would say that don't look into others, and just stop consuming Instagram. Because Instagram becomes one of those platforms which you know bad things, and then you can
okay. He says
yes.
I too want to be a millionaire. Yes, who doesn't want to be a millionaire? That is Ajit. Who's your partner in crime? Ajit Bharadwaj.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. So
Everyone
coming
wants to
on,
be a millionaire.
so moving on to my next question, who has been your mentor in the last couple of years that you've been riding, and or if not mentor, who has been that one person who has constantly been supporting you?
I think there has been no mentor as such, because I'll give an example. In my earlier career of in my corporate side, I was and I'm proud of that as well. I was a self-made person. In this segment as well, I'm pretty much self-made. But self-made is in isolation is really nothing. The person who really sacrifices is your family, and I think real support has been my wife, because
Okay.
if you can, if I'll tell you, like in 2018, I was doing so much, and I also had a baby. So that means my wife was going through a lot emotionally,
Correct.
as well as physically. So that there are so many things which
Challenges.
go, yeah. So she's been one of the biggest supporter. Because once you quit a high-paying job, and you set up new benchmarks in your life, you need to figure out that your things are at in the right
Stake.
place. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll take one more question from the audience saying cycloholic. He says, one second, let me read out that question. How to take out fear before sending bike through features or obstacles during enduro riding? Take 20 to
Hmm.
25 minutes run up and unable to send it due to fear. Okay. So if you just want to answer that.
Yeah.
Hi,
So
Sandy. Yeah.
I would say that sending the bike. what he is mentioning is jumping a motorcycle. I would understand, and
Yeah.
jumping through obstacle. What I would want to tell everyone that every skill is a tool for you. Okay, if you are jumping your motorcycle, you should know that there is an obstacle and you need to jump over. You cannot go beyond that without jumping over it. Okay, so like take for example, if you have to take a sharp left turn, you can do that by turning the motorcycle and going slowly. You can do that with rear brake slide as well, and you can do that with power slide as well. You need to figure out what it is for, and then
Okay.
then start building up that. If you want to jump, and I understand that there is a jump that you need to take. First of all, break it down into various things. First, like a small run up, then small jump. Gain some air confidence, and then start building up to that. And eventually, when you will gain more confidence, then start going into the bigger sections. If you go into the bigger section from day one, I will see a lot of these memes which would be coming on Instagram of you.
Okay. So thank you for asking that question. So which has triggered another question from my end. Rightly mentioned, certain times when you're doing certain things, you have this fear. For example, I had this biggest fear of taking downhill. Especially,
Yes,
this was when I was training myself at Big Rock, and you see there's one
right.
huge
Yeah, yeah.
slide, and I could not come over my fear of how to get down that this thing. So
Yeah,
how to
yeah, yeah.
actually come over that fear, because eventually you have to do it, but then how to capture your fear even before coming to that this thing, how do you mentally prepare yourself?
First thing, come to my training once again.
Which I've done, and I would love to
whenever,
come over and
whenever
over and
it would
over.
be next, yeah, yeah, whenever it would be,
Mm,
I'll keep posted on my handle.
please,
But
please.
the second important thing is that downhill is also an obstacle. Only thing is that in this you have lesser control. Okay, what is the control that you have? The only
You,
control that you have on downhill
you can.
is steering. Is steering. Okay, so on
And
downhill,
yes.
yeah, and or sorry, you
No,
were saying
and
something.
also your body movement, you can just move
Body
around and make it.
body movement is working towards steering only.
Correct, correct.
Okay, the two reactions that everyone has on downhill is applying brake and sitting
Yes,
down, right? What does it mean? Is that you are fearful, so you want to slow down.
very true.
You are fearful, and you want to put your leg down.
Yes,
Okay. So what I'm trying to convey is that if you can start focusing rather on these two things and focusing only on steering the motorcycle, where you are going, how you are going, rather than stopping the motorcycle. Because when you start stopping the motorcycle, okay, because when you come to downhill, your mind is saying stop. Uh,
very
it's a
true.
it's a it's a flight situation. It wants you to get out of the situation, but actually you want to sail through it.
Very true. Very
Okay,
true.
so go with the flow, ride, and understand and anticipate what's ahead. Probably the sharp downhill will taper down, and
Correct.
after every downhill there is a tapering. Okay, it could be that there might be a turn. So over there at the turn, you need to figure out what is the next step. But you need to start figuring out the whole downhill. Start visualizing, start preparing yourself for that downhill and all of that.
Yes,
And for
exactly.
the
That
rest of the things,
Yeah,
come to my
you're
training.
training. No, which, like I mentioned, I will be there every time next year in Bangalore or Chennai or Hyderabad, which is
Okay,
down south. I will definitely be there. If it's up
sure.
north, it becomes slightly difficult in terms of transportation. A lot of other reasons. I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
prefer down south. And next time you have a GS training in Bangalore, I'll be your first guy there, standing right next to you, and saying, चलो after your session चलो बाहर जाते trail के लिए, like how
Yeah,
we did
yeah,
last
yeah,
time.
yeah.
So yeah, so
Absolutely,
moving on,
absolutely.
so moving on to my next question. So this was very personal to me because this normally I used to have that fear in the very beginning of my riding career, and especially taking downhill. I so this actually came out of one fall when I was in college in 2000. Where we didn't know how to actually technically ride a motorcycle. It was all about riding. And downhill, instead of being in a gear, I put the motorcycle in neutral and I continued. और
Hmm.
उस पे लग गई एंड आई ब्रेक आई डिड पैनिक ब्रेकिंग रियर ब्रेक बाइक स्लाइड हो गया एंड आई हो गया खत्म एंड फ्रॉम दैट डे आई हैड दैट fear till I went to a training school to understand what was my fear, like you
Yeah.
rightly mentioned, how to break it down and all those things. So that's why I really wanted to ask, and I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this right now might have gone through that at
Yeah.
certain
Yeah.
one point or another. So moving
Yeah.
on to my next question, uh, what was the biggest challenge that you faced before you could get into this sport or this profession?
Challenge in the sense what?
It could be in terms of not having enough infrastructure in India. That's why you had to fly abroad and all those things.
Yeah.
What was your biggest challenge that
Yeah.
you
So one
probably
thing
have
that you
faced?
have mentioned, which is there,
Yeah.
there was no certified trainer or no infrastructure. The other thing which I believe is that many people also have pointed out is the right equipment, having the
Okay.
right motorcycles. Okay,
Okay.
if I talk about from when I've started giving the trainings,
Mm-hmm.
from then only, a lot of big adventure motorcycles have started coming in India.
Correct.
Before that, there was one or two brands which were doing adventure
Big
motorcycling,
bikes.
big bikes. So
Okay.
one very important thing which I believe as a country, as a system that we are in, is that we, all of us who are on this channel right now, are first generation riders, right? And
Very
some
true.
some would be first generation professional riders as well. Okay, if you look at places like US, Europe, Australia, and those people who are competing at, like example at Dakar, and I'm talking about high professional level, because Dakar also started as an amateur event. People used to
Okay.
ride to Dakar in their everyday vehicle, participate in Dakar, and then go back in the same vehicle. That was the concept of Dakar, right? It
Okay.
evolved because people became very, very competitive, and then they start adding, competitiveness. And now, if you see all of those people, be it Toby Price, be it, even for that matter, C.S. Santosh, they live for the rallies, right?
Very
Their
true.
ultimate job, they're working. Their job is to participate and either win or complete the rallies.
Conquer. Yes,
Exactly.
conquer the rally.
So for them, it's a professional thing, and when it is professional, there's high stakes. Okay.
I understand.
Same thing. If you look at Australian riders, US riders, European riders, they are third generation riders, which means the first generation rider would have been the recreational rider who encouraged the next generation to become a professional. And the third generation, who is now, whom we are seeing right now, are those people who have the learnings of these two generations, as well as who started early.
Correct. So they have the
And
early
this is
advantage.
not just early advantage, they also have the right vehicles from the beginning.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So
Right?
when you say right,
Take for example,
yeah.
if I talk about my daughter, okay, if I want to have, if I want to introduce her to motorcycling, which motorcycle should I give her? Right?
Okay.
At 3 years, Jorge Lorenzo was competing in motorcycle races. Right? At
Okay.
7 years, he was in his category one of the best.
Best.
Right? So it will come with time.
Yes. And
It
especially
will come
rightly
with it.
mentioned in Australia, adventure sport is something which is a everyday life for them. And
Exactly.
if you see a lot of products that we sell in India, it could be for car or for motorcycle. A lot of professional products are from Australia.
Yeah. And also, look at it this way that majority of the guys who are buying these big adventure motorcycles or everything, they can afford it.
Yes, yes,
Affordability as well, which is why they
yes.
have age with them as well, right? A 20 lakh rupee motorcycle in India means a person should be having a 50 lakh rupee car in a
Very true.
mindset perspective, right?
Idealistic
Yeah,
situation.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Not everyone would be
Yeah.
crazy that to have a 20 lakh rupee motorcycle, yeah, on
Correct,
day one, right? So that means that person has been there, done that,
correct,
right?
correct.
There's a lot to lose for him. Okay, and
Yes,
then exactly opposite is the professional segment in India. They don't have the right motorcycles. The motorcycles are expensive. It's difficult to maintain. It's difficult to source the parts. So it becomes even more difficult for them to keep to be competitive as well.
okay. So that's
So
where
yeah.
we are lagging.
Yes, yes, and it will happen when brands like TVS, when brands like Bajaj, when brands like Hero, Royal Enfield, when these homegrown brands will grow
Yes,
in India, then only
yes.
it will prosper.
Like especially rightly mentioned, TVS has this one make race, and MRF
Exactly,
has their this thing. So
exactly.
they're trying to get more talent and curate more talent from the Indian audience.
Yeah, and when everyone says that we'll have less of this, less of this, less of this, I also say that because in my lifetime, right, it is less of it. However, if you look from a brand's perspective, okay, brands go
Yes,
on for generations or
yes,
over
yes.
decades. मतलब मेरा riding career would be 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, whatever. So I'm pissed about it, right? But from a brand perspective, they are here for decades. They are
Correct,
not
correct.
focused about one person.
Yes, very true.
So
That's
that's
why
it.
this happens. So,
Yeah.
also my next question relating to this is, how important fitness is as a part of an adventure or an enduro rider.
Oh, definitely. Everyone says that even if you are unfit, you can ride. I would say yes, you can ride, but you are riding to enjoy various things, right? And let's take for example, you are riding from Manali to Kunjum Pass. Okay, I'm just giving
Correct.
one of the examples. And in due
Mm-hmm.
course of time, you are unfit. You started having back pain. Your whole trip has gone into a different zone,
Very.
right? So I would say that everyone needs to be physically fit, and I'm not pushing everyone to be physically fit, but I would advise people to be physically fit because that actually brings a lot of stability into your life, be it
Okay.
motorcycles or beyond that as well.
So if you can just give us the insight about your fitness regime, what do you do personally to increase your endurance personally as a physical this thing, and also how what are the things that you do, if you could just tell basic one or two things that you do on a regular basis.
So up till 2018, because that's when I was trying to be competitive. I was doing lots of weight training as well as I was doing lots of jogging and cardios. But
Okay.
in the last couple of years, I have shifted from high intensity workout to into a different phase, which is I'm focused on diet. That
Mm-hmm.
like take for example, I finished my dinner at 5. Okay, yeah. So I finished my
मैंने
dinner at 5.
नाश्ता किया था 5 बजे को.
So now I have almost like a 16 hours cycle to my next meal, right?
Okay.
Or even 14, 15 hours cycle to my next meal. So one is diet. The other thing is that I do yoga.
Okay.
uh, because that helps me in my not just fitness but also in my flexibility. And thirdly, I do lots of brisk walking. So I
Okay.
walk almost an hour at the pace at which probably you would do jogging. Okay, so so that's my brisk walk pace.
Regime.
The objective is to bring the heart rate up to a nice level without burning out my body.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
So
and
because when I used to do cardio, sorry, because when I was used to do cardio, after 1 hour of or even half an hour of cardio, I used to feel drained out.
okay.
So this is another way of keeping up that level without
Mm-hmm.
compromising on the daily activity.
Okay. So
And this
just
comes with
come.
age. This comes with age.
Okay.
As and when I will keep on growing older, there would be something which I will bring down, and there would be something which I'll bring up. So
So it's a mix and match.
yeah.
Okay, just picking from your answer, how important strength is for big bike riding and flexibility. How important these two are for a big bike riding.
So it is important. However, from an individual perspective, it might not be important, but from a trainer perspective, it is important because if I'm doing a training, I might be picking up motorcycle 8 to 10 times per
I've
day,
seen that.
right? So for that, I need strength development and flexibility because I might get into a situation in which if I'm flexible, I am out of that uncomfortable zone faster.
Okay,
Okay, so I'll give an example. In 2019 end, I had a knee injury. Okay, it
okay,
happened in two parts. First part where I was doing a training and I had a bad fall, and that was for the camera. It always happens in front of the camera, as in for the camera person. Sir, one
yes, I get that. I know where you come from.
Yeah. So, sir, once more was the thing which drags you down. So,
Okay,
the first time I evaded it because I was able to flex myself out of that situation.
okay,
But
okay,
obviously, the second one happened in couple of months later. So yeah, that's the thing. So it is important. It is important. But as it is important for everyone to have good food, for everyone to stay healthy, and it's the same thing.
okay,
Whatever you will give
okay.
into your body, the body will give back to you.
Reap back that to you.
Exactly.
Yes. So yeah. So because I wanted to know, a lot of riders say that, okay, because I don't have the kind of strength that requires for a big, for example, what you do, a 1250 adventure or a something like that. When you ride that, how important strength really matters, or is it
To
just the skill?
to ride, you don't need strength. To pick up a
Yes.
motorcycle, you need friends.
But then for imagine places where you are drifting, power drifting, or you doing anything that is purely from a technique point of view, or even there you don't need any strength.
Yeah, there's no strength because strength
Okay,
means you are gripping things hard. When
okay,
I'm riding, I am really supple on the motorcycle.
okay,
If you will push me, I will move here and there and I will keep the motorcycle stable over there.
okay. They're very fluid.
Very fluid, very fluid. See, also think of it this way. I do strength training because I am picking up the motorcycle 10 to 20 times like in 3 or 4 hours.
Yes,
Okay. But if you are riding, you would in your trip of 5 days or 7 days, you will drop your motorcycle 1 or 2 max times.
yes,
If you
yes.
are going to Leh Ladakh in slush or any kind of situation, 5 or 6 max times
Max and the overall trip.
in the overall trip. And that is
And
only not because of skill set lacking. That's because the terrain is such. You are stuck in
yes,
slush. you are stuck
Correct.
in water. That's
Yes,
because it
very
is
true.
happening. And over there, everyone will be drained out.
Yes. And then, like you rightly mentioned, then you have friends to lift that
You
motorcycle.
exactly. You to lift the motorcycle, you need friends. To ride the
Yes.
motorcycle, you need skill.
Yes, very true, very true. And I understood that after being a part of GS experience, which I had attended of yours, and I realized how important it is the minute you take bigger bikes and bigger bikes and bigger bikes, how important the skill set works out there. Because then I
Yeah,
was,
yeah,
I think during your training, I tried right from the 310 all the way till the Adventure 1250, and I felt the difference what you actually lag when you're riding anything like a 310 versus when you're riding a 1250. It's very important, like you rightly put across. And I saw you taking a big jump all of a sudden. I was just keeping my mouth open. How did you even do that? And you, especially when you ride it, you make it look so simple. And for somebody like me, when I watch it, I think, oh, ye to bachcho ki khel hai, abhi मैं कर दूंगा. And when you get onto the motorcycle, you realize how difficult and how skillful it is. And
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
not,
No,
the way it looks.
but that has come through years of practice as well. It
Okay.
is almost like the tip of the iceberg that you are seeing. You haven't seen me practicing. You haven't seen
Very
me,
true.
falling those many times and dropping myself, picking myself up, and making myself comfortable with that fall as well. Right.
Very true.
So
Very
you are
true.
seeing just the Instagram side.
Yes. And just to ask, how many falls or how many surgeries that you had till date? How many injuries have you gone through till date in your life
I'm
once you
I'm
started this profession?
I have had my fair share of injuries. I have had a dislocated shoulder in 2010. In 2008, I had full knee scraped off at a slide in MMRT. In
Ah,
2014, I broke this both radius and ulna bones. See, I've become so much proficient that I know the doctor's terminology of the bones as well.
okay, so
So
that's how.
I've torn my three ligaments, and I'm not saying I'm happy with this. It's because those were stupid mistakes.
Okay.
The first time that I went to MMRT, I was not in racing leathers.
Oh, that's
Okay,
the.
that was my mistake. The second time when I went there, which the when I had an accident, it was not my fault. It was someone else who clipped my handlebar on
Okay.
I think C5, right?
Okay.
So that's a different thing. On my knee injury in 2019, I had a knee brace. I was not wearing it. So it's different kinds of things, and you never know what triggers. So always be prepared with your safety guard, safety net.
Okay, so now that you spoke about safety, tell me what are the things that one needs when he's on a enduro or a adventure riding? Must have riding gears that anybody should use, without which he should not be sitting on a motorcycle.
So definitely helmet, good adventure riding helmet. Even if you don't have an adventure riding helmet, have a good helmet. Okay. The
Okay.
second thing is, if not an armor which covers your chest and the back, then
Mm-hmm.
definitely a riding jacket which has shoulder and elbows protection, because
Mm-hmm.
the second point of contact of the motorcycle is your limbs. The first is
Okay.
your palm.
Palm.
This is the first point of contact. The second point is elbows and shoulders.
Shoulder.
Uh, Many people don't feel comfortable wearing knee guards, and then they start wearing knee guards once they scrape their knees. So,
Personal
so
experience.
yeah, personal experience, absolutely. So now, if you'll ask me, whenever I take my motorcycle to like a shop which is 5 kilometers away from my house, because I live in a very remote location. I will show
Okay.
you.
Okay.
So whenever I'm going there, I make sure that I'm wearing my helmet. I make sure that I'm wearing a riding jacket and I wear riding denim to go out as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
The thing that the thing which is really important is your boots. I've seen many people riding with boots which not even cover the ankle.
Yes.
Okay, so have a boot which is
Up till the
which
shin.
covers your not just the ankle but at least your front shin,
Yes.
because in terms
Yes.
of an impact the shin hits the front area of the motorcycle the first. Okay,
Correct.
and I don't feel comfortable riding without gloves, so I can't ride without gloves. If you'll ask
Okay.
me
So
to ride
that's
a
another mandate.
motorcycle without gloves, you will feel that ये कौन चला रहा है.
Okay, so basically you say it's helmet, riding gloves, riding jacket, riding pant, and a boot. It is a must no matter what.
Yeah,
Would you
yeah.
would you also recommend neck brace for somebody who's into adventure riding, who's getting really adventurous?
So when things start pacing up, injuries happen when you start when the pace goes up. That's when you need those additional. My knee injury happened at 10 kilometers per hour or 20 kilometer per hour speed,
Okay.
right? And I was not wearing a knee brace. So for me, knee brace is a must.
Okay.
Even when I'm riding from here to Chandigarh, even a flat, I wear a knee brace nowadays.
Okay. Okay. So
I've
that tells
become
how important.
I've become that much, it has become
Conscious.
that much more important. And for road, I have now started wearing neck brace as well.
Okay.
Okay, I have started doing. It doesn't mean that you should also, but I would still urge, if you can, definitely you should.
Okay, super. So we have two questions now. Let's take question from Swaroop Singh. What are the things we should use for starter, mid, and long drive gear to be used with your experience?
I think the for long rides, you should invest in a layering system. Something like what Moscow Moto is kind of have a base layer of armor, and then on top of that an abrasion resistant jacket, and then on top of that, if it rains, something which can cover you on top, and if it is very cold, you can layer it up. For pants, I think one of the key things is that because now I wear knee braces a lot, so I wear motorcycling pants, and I remove the knee guards and I wear the knee braces directly over there. Riding boots, I think adventure riding boots like a Forma. I don't remember the name of
Forma Adventure. It's called Forma
Forma
Adventure.
Adventure, something like that. I'm not saying just buy a 20,000 rupee boot, but
Yes.
in that zone, you should invest.
Okay.
Gloves which have the
Palm
palm
protection.
because I think this is important,
Knuckle.
but slightly overrated, because the first point of
Okay.
contact is always your palm. See
So
this?
yes. Yes.
All of these bruises are the first point of contacts.
Okay, so we have one more question here saying that ISI helmets only to be sold going forward. Your comments?
I think it's a very interesting one, because I don't know why it has been done in this way, because I think it's a norm war which is happening. Like in US, there is the Snell, then there is ECE in Europe, and then Arai across global, not the helmet Arai, but Arai,
Yeah.
norm, and then
Norm.
India follows ISI. What I believe is that they want to set up their own benchmark, which I totally understand and appreciate. What I don't agree with is having arbitrary, arbitrary norms which are enforced by police, right? So tomorrow, if I'm not wearing an ISI helmet, will I be stopped by a cop and reprimanded? Yes and no, I don't know.
Yes.
But
Correct.
am I safe in my existing helmet? Definitely. Okay, but that should be accepted.
Okay. So one more question from Vijay Anand saying metal knee braces or a padded knee braces, which is ideal for touring.
So metal knee braces nowadays, almost all knee braces are coming into carbon fibers as well, because earlier metal knee braces were very uncomfortable, especially on long riding. But now it is coming in carbon fiber. Obviously, that costs almost 2 or 3 times of the regular knee brace. But yeah, that's the thing. The interesting thing is padded knee brace. Not what you are saying is padded knee guard, not the brace. A padded knee
Correct.
guard, it helps you from impact protection. Okay, while a knee brace helps you in rotational or flex protection. Okay, so these are two different things, and I think if you are riding that good that you would need to go into a better protection level, go ahead, invest in a better protection level. Because let me give you a very simple calculation. Okay, I don't know if you have a medical insurance or not. A typical knee surgery for a ligament tear, okay, costs 2.5 to 3 lakh rupees. Okay,
Wow.
in Gurgaon, let me put that
Okay.
in Gurgaon. Okay, then on top of that, a physiotherapy session minimum would be 800 to 1,000 rupees, and you would need
That is
at least
irrespective.
and you would need at least 30 settings of, and I'm giving a conservative numbers, 30 minimum sittings with a physiotherapist to get your knee back into action in a span of 2 months. Forget all of the opportunity cost that is lost. During those 2 months, 3 months, you would not be going out, you would not be working, you might be taking a
Yes.
sabbatical, your
Yes.
office might say various things already. And then on top of that, this COVID scene where it is difficult to get yourself rectified in the hospital as well. So
Correct.
it is almost like a
5 lakh affair.
3 to 5 lakh rupees affair. Knee brace costs minimum 30,000 rupees, maximum 60,000 rupees.
Got it. So it's a very well put, Shahnawaz, because I think a lot of people don't really realize that fact, that how important riding gear plays for any individual, and a lot of people, even to spend a 5,500 rupees on a regular jacket, people think 100 times, but then they'll have a KTM 390. And this is something that I've seen so many times, and I feel so sorry for such people when they do that, because they don't realize how much risk that they're taking by just not having a riding jacket. That's the lowest that you can kind of invest when you're spending 3-4 lakhs on a motorcycle. Just one
Forget about
person.
motorcycle. I'll give you another analogy. Okay.
Yes.
You how much have you invested in yourself in your personal insurance? Okay. An average person invests for a 1 crore policy, right? 1 crore policy के लिए तो हर कोई invest करता है, right?
Correct.
On an average, if I can say your value is 1 CR, and your 1 CR value is based on a 3,000 rupee helmet.
Very well said. I think this logic is an eye opener for a lot of people who do not understand this.
Yeah.
So I have invested, not to boast about that, but then I've invested heavy on my riding gears. A lot of people think it's show off and this and that, but then probably it's their mindset. But then for me, it's very important, because it's our bread and butter. I earn because I ride. I earn because I travel. So that's my bread earner. And if I can't be safe when I'm on road every time, there's no point of being in that profession, or trying to this thing. So it's very important. A lot of people, अरे तूने 25,000 का शू ले लिया, पागल है क्या यार, 2,000 का वुडलैंड्स ले लेते तो उससे चल जाता काम. And he is a guy who has probably a Himalayan or a 390. Those are the kind of guys who are talking to me in that language.
No, so there will always be naysayers. There will always be haters. What you should always look into what you are meant for, what is important for you, because my life, my family revolves around me, right? And
Correct.
I will safeguard myself as much as possible. As simple as that.
Okay. Now coming back to ULKA gears. So your riding jacket. So that appeals to what kind of audience? What kind of audience can actually look at buying one?
So see, the USP of the jacket is that it can convert into a backpack, and when you are not riding, you can put your helmet, gloves, goggles, everything inside and walk hands-free.
Okay.
What I decided as a a product approach is that I should give this functionality to everyone. So that means the jacket comes in two forms. One is a summer city jacket. Then the second one is a summer touring jacket. And because we are in India, riding majority of the time, 9 months are summer only. 9 to, and if you go down south in India, it's 11 to 12 months summer. Even though, people in Bangalore would say that winter is here by September, October.
No, okay. That I would offend. I'll be offended now in my place where I come from. It's hardcore rain for 4 months. Hardcore. Down south.
No,
so, but 8 months, like you rightly said.
Summer jackets can be layered up or down, right?
Very
it is
true.
breathable.
Yes.
And then this the second one is a summer touring one, so you can tour with that. This is based on two use cases that I had. The first use case, when I used to go to my office on my motorcycle, everyone used to ask me, "Acha, ye helmet kaun sa hai?" So my helmet used to be very expensive helmets, flashy helmets, etc., etc. And then I decided that I need to safeguard my helmet as well, because it is expensive, and then it is saving the most important thing, right? My head.
Yes.
Even if a smart, everyone used to come and touch and poke it like this.
Knock.
Yeah, बहुत strong होगा. अरे भाई, it is not meant to be done that way. So what I did is that put your helmet inside. The second use case, when you're traveling, you go out to a new place and then you put where do you put your helmet? You put on a stool, you put it on a table, sometimes you put it down on the floor. Okay, you are abusing your helmet. So why not keep it in a much more neater way inside your jacket, and jacket can be converted into a backpack. So that was a use case, and these are the two things that I keep telling people.
Okay, and what are the protective layers that they come with? Like, do they come with shoulder and backpack?
It comes with shoulder, elbows, and back protection. The shoulder and elbows are CE level 1, and the back protection can be upgraded to any other back protector, because at the end of the day, the possibility of keeping the price into a sweet spot, which is approachable by a lot of guys, and providing the best of the functionality also comes at a cost, right? So it's a balance that needs to be maintained. I can give you level 2 armors like Gore-Tex, etc., but then the price would be 25,000 rupees, and then you'll say, "Itne mein to climb aa jayega."
So just to understand,
giving you a knowledge.
I know, very true.
So,
and what have you set the price at?
So the summer city jacket comes at 8,999 price, and the summer touring one is 10,999.
Okay, very well priced.
Yeah. That's why. And both comes with a rain cover on top. And the rain cover is not like a regular rain cover. It is a full hooded rain cover, so that you can wear it inside your helmet as well. So really, the water seeps from here inside.
Okay.
So I want to
Okay.
give that protection to
Okay.
everyone.
So yeah, so we are talking about, so there's a question from audience saying that which jacket are you talking about? We are talking about a product which is invented, and this is something that has been Shahnawaz is the founder as well for this. It is called ULKA gears. So ULKA gears is what we're talking about. That is the riding gear that is uh, innovated, or even ideated by Shahnawaz, and made it one of the most innovative product, and the only product in the world which can convert into a backpack.
Backpack. Yeah.
I said it right, Shahnawaz, this time. I
Yes.
didn't mention the country. Okay, so one more question is there now, saying that this is again, is it women as well? What want to gift to my wife? Okay, so this
Yeah,
is
so
a very
it's a
sweet
yeah,
person.
it's a very valid thing,
Mm.
because when I started out building this, it was a unisex product, but then I took because of the big economies of business, I first targeted the male segment. This
Okay.
is what I think Prateek was asking. Are you coming up with
Mm.
something innovative soon? So you will see
Yes.
some of these kind of innovation in various segments, in various other products as well.
Okay. So currently, this is a unisex product, you mean to say?
You
Not
can say,
anymore.
because
Okay.
it has the adjustments at waist.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't provide the tapering of the female shape, but it
Mm-hmm.
can be adjusted.
Okay, it can be adjusted.
Yeah.
Yes, so let me come back. Who is the person who's asked this question? So this is by uh, Ayansh Garpia. So very interesting. So yeah, just to answer your question was that yes, this is for you can go ahead and gift that. So very thoughtful that he's interested in keeping his wife safe as well, which is very
Yes.
very
Yes.
important. Please
Yeah.
go ahead, buy one of these. Now moving on to my questions. What are the career opportunities one has if he wants to get into this profession, Chanavas?
Okay. So I will not want to move people away from this. However, the brighter thing is here is that if you write well, right, you you can make your own way. Like, take for example, trainings was not something which was done up till the time I started doing trainings, right?
Okay.
And I made it a sustainable model, so that it can run my house, as well as it can do many things for many people as well. So if you start looking at the cost side and the value ROI side, you will never be able to make the ROI. But if you're passionate
Okay.
enough, you can see so many riders, so many professional athletes, and all of that. They are making it big because they are staying true to their pole north
Passion.
star, their vision, which is to be a good athlete, to be a good rider, to become good in whatever you are doing. And that's what I think this when we started this call, I mentioned
Yes.
as well, that I'm doing is this because I wanted to do something good.
Okay.
So and then everything is onto you, your capability.
Okay. So we have one more person asking, when are you coming to Bangalore for training? Yes. So people are
See,
now
but
getting.
personally, if you'll ask me, yes, I would want to be there every month, and that's what I was trying to do with Big Rock as well. So I did 3-4 trainings with Big Rock just before the lockdowns happened, and these were 2-day specialized camps that I did over there. And there were few guys who came in first camp. They also joined in the second camp, brought in new guys, and they said, even if I'm getting to learn one
New
exercise,
thing.
one new thing which is worth that money, and it makes so much sense, because otherwise they don't get an opportunity to put their time into practice. And when they
Correct.
when they see a camp like this, they feel this as an opportunity. Okay, ठीक है, पैसे तो जा रहे हैं, but then I'm getting committed to an exercise set. I'm getting to learn a new thing, and then I'm also getting to meet like-minded individuals
Very
who
true.
are there.
Very true.
Okay.
Yes.
So once you know, I think everything settles down, there are less cases. I will once again you know, launch a new calendar, and in fact, on May 20th, 29th or 30th, it was earlier scheduled with at
Okay.
a training, but that got
Okay.
canned because of the current situation. I'm assuming that June, July or August would be an appropriate time when I will, and this is still my assumption as of now, sitting over here,
Okay.
that July or August end, I will start a new calendar of training. We'll see how it happens.
Okay, there's one more question. One more question from Iyengar Payan saying that what are the requirements for from a rider point of view for becoming a IIA trainer?
Okay, so everyone wants to be a trainer, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't aim to be that, but the thing is that trainer's job is not, you know, a glamorous you know, riding career. The you know, and it is very important. If you ask me, what is the saddle time I get as a rider myself when I'm doing a training, it's actually 2 to 3 minutes.
Really?
You've been through my GS experience,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
I introduced 3 exercises to you that time.
Yes.
How
yes.
much time I was on the motorcycle?
Oh yes, rightly mentioned. Yes.
I was standing there and I was imparting the knowledge to
Correct.
you all.
Yes, and
Right?
also monitoring if we are doing it right.
Exactly. So my job is not to you know, ride. My job is to make you ride better. The second thing is that those boots are made for riding and not for walking.
So you
Okay.
have a sore leg.
Sorry for you know, making it sound negative, but the positive thing is that yes, you can also become a IA trainer, but before that, you need to have certain skill set. You need to be a good rider. Secondly, you need to be a good trainer. You should have trained multiple people. There's a number defined by it. Then apart from that, you need to go through that exam. I'll give an example. For a skill test, you are given 100 obstacles, and out of those 100, you have only 4 margin of errors. You can make only 4 mistakes.
So 96 is what you need to score.
Not 96 is what you need to you know, get right. You need to be right 96 times. It's almost like a goalkeeper's job.
Okay.
You know, saving all the goals. The second thing, you need to be even much more important and critical to impart the knowledge better. And then
Correct.
on top of that, you need to understand, assess situations. And assessment of situation means you need to impart the knowledge of first aid. In case there is something which happens, and if there is no ambulance around, no first aid around, you should be able to do first aid. And when I'm saying first aid, these are international first aid standards. Not like कि हाँ भाई मैंने brace लगा दिया और हाथ को ऐसे fold करके रख दिया. You know, you need to perform first aid. If there is someone who is bleeding hard, you need to be ready with a tourniquet as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
So yeah.
So that was a very good insight. Very good insight for everybody who wanted to know.
Before thinking about becoming a trainer, think about becoming a rider who can understand things and improve your skill set. You cannot impart knowledge without having or understanding those things yourself. Before getting a certificate is just a, you know, validation that this person, you know, can train. But before that, you should have been able to impart that knowledge to various other peoples.
Correct. Very true. Very true. So we have another question saying Triumph Tiger or BMW GSA or Africa Twin. Which one would be your choice if you were touring a terrain like Ladakh?
You know, one very important thing which I want to point out over here is that all three motorcycles, from these three motorcycles have different characteristics.
Capability.
Characteristic as well. Okay, Triumph
Yes.
Tiger, when everyone says, no one talks about Triumph Explorer. Everyone talks about Triumph 900. Triumph
Correct.
900 can be compared to like a KTM 790, 890 Adventure or BMW 850 GS. F850 GS. 1250 GS is a different league altogether. Okay, and then Africa Twin is a different motorcycle altogether. So one is a mid-segment motorcycle. Okay, so why it is mid-segment is because it is lighter than few, it is cheaper than few. Okay, it has good capability, yet it has not all of those things which are there in like 900 is different from 1200 Explorer, right? Based on various things, because the 1200 is meant for road as well as off-road. It's 80% road, and this the Triumph 900 is meant totally for majority of off-road. Can be done. GS is totally different. Africa Twin, if you ride that, Africa Twin actually feels like a 900 in terms of power delivery, but actually has the weight of a bigger motorcycle, which it is, right? So these three are different genres of motorcycling. And if you will ask me, if I want to just go around, if I know that it is roads and few nalas and all of that, I will go on any motorcycle.
Okay. Very diplomatically put across.
No, but if you ask my favorites, 1250 GS would be the favorite in the top of the line, right?
Okay.
In the second middle segment, I think 900 hits the bell. In the lower end, the KTM 690 Adventure, 690 Enduro is my favorite. And in the 450cc category, my favorite is KTM 450 EXC. Okay, so these are my favorites. I'm not saying that I'm being judgmental, but what I'm trying to convey is that all of these motorcycles are for different kind of rider.
Got it.
Many people feel that GS is a motorcycle which like the epitome. Yes, it is an epitome because it has gone through 40 years of research and development, and that comes into its play. Its boxer engine gives that much more capability because of its balance, right? Which is what now KTM is working towards with the new engine, the fuel tank placement. So yeah, these are those things.
Brilliant. So one personal question: GS390 or the GS310 or the KTM 390? Which one I can go ahead if I were to buy one of these?
What kind of rider you are?
So I am a 50-50 kind of a thing. I like trails a lot.
Are you heavy with your throttle?
Not really. I'm not too heavy with my throttle.
If you are not heavy with your throttle, then you would like the 310 GS. If you are very aggressive, you would like the 390.
Okay, no. So I'm not that aggressive.
Motorcycles are like that.
Okay. Yeah, so I like touring. I do long distances at at times, but at the same time I like to explore a lot of trails as well. I like light motorcycles, especially. I had a very long discussion with you last time, if you remember, the X-Pulse and the 250 Adventure KTM. So that's why. So I like to do a lot of trails, and especially where I come from now, my hometown Mangalore, I have a lot of trails, and every single day it's a dream kind of for any rider. For you though, it will be like a dream come true, exploring a new place without any hassle. So you will not have any problem from police or localites or anything. It's like natural terrain that you can just go. And since I come from beach also, I have a lot of beaches around, so I would like to take them to the beach as well. So this is more of a fun ride.
Then I think you know what I'm saying.
Yes, I very well know. Okay, so now coming on to my questions, I have last few questions left. 3 things every adventure should practice at home to be a better rider.
The first exercise that I would say is stationary motorcycling balance. So keep your
Okay.
motorcycle on side stand, stand on the motorcycle, try to balance the motorcycle without putting your leg down. I
Mm-hmm.
think this is one of the great skill set exercises. The second exercise is enduro steering, which is riding
Mm-hmm.
on the slaloms. And then third exercise, which I would urge everyone to do, is riding in circle with full steering lock. All of these
Okay.
exercises, I have videos on my Instagram
Yes,
link
Instagram.
all somewhere, so you can have a look over there. So these
Okay.
build those skill sets.
Okay. And these can be done at home itself, you're saying. So it does not need that I need to go ground. As long as you have a decent space
Yeah.
at home, or if you stay in a flat, I'm sure a lot of parking area can be utilized for something like this.
Yes.
And I've seen one
Yes.
of your Insta post also where you're doing it in the parking area, and you are
Yes.
very, very dedicated. No matter what, given the limited space, you want to ensure you are practicing every single day.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about way forward for ULKA gears in the next couple of months, or when is the next product that you're planning to launch?
So I'm glad that you asked because it's not just the India sales which are happening.
Okay.
Up till the lockdown happened, where I have stopped sales because it was difficult for deliveries and all of that. I didn't want to add any undue pressure, not
Okay.
just for the sales, but also because our system doesn't like, take for example, if somebody who is a delivery person, right, and that person's job is to supply essential product, right? Yes, a motorcycling jacket comes under essential product because it is
Essential.
an
Yes.
EE, right? However, I don't want to go into that route because this is mission critical times. So
Okay.
majority of my sales just before this current lockdown was happening outside of India, which is
Okay.
US and Southern Europe.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And people over there loved the product, and they were really happy with this. So my objective is to how I can phase out my production lineup for international market, because when everyone says that European product and Indian product is made. When I made the ULKA jacket, it was made for Indian summer.
Okay.
Right? European summer is different,
Very different. Very,
right?
very different.
So I
For
want to
the
cater.
for
Yeah, I want to
them,
cater to
just
different geographies with the
okay.
right product,
Okay.
right?
Perfect, perfect. So, especially when you talk about Europe, even a small sunlight for European guys, it seems to be summer and they just sit out and start.
Yes,
And
yes,
actually, for Indians, it probably is winter conditions. It's
yes,
16
yes.
sometimes. Okay, so
So
that's what
not
you
even
meant.
India, but Asia overall. So the initial first 100 jackets, they were more than half of the lot got sold in Indonesia.
Okay, okay.
Similar kind of weather, similar kind of terrains, etc.
Tropical weather.
Yes.
Yes. And what is the meaning of ULKA, or what made you name it ULKA gears, if I
Yeah.
may ask you
So
that?
so if you look at ULKA's logo, you will see there
Yes,
is something which has a distinct shape. It has
correct.
ULKA word is derived from Ulka Pind, which
Okay.
means a meteorite. It's a Sanskrit word.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, meteorite. When it
Yes.
enters Earth's atmosphere,
It
it
takes full force.
it comes with a force. It disintegrates from the outside, preserving the core.
Okay. Okay. Brilliant.
Okay.
Very good thought. Very, very good thought. Okay, we have one question from the audience saying that, sir, thoughts on Kawasaki Z900. How's your experience been in this with this bike?
I am not a road guy. You tell.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So it's a brilliant motorcycle at the end of the day. I think one of the best segment in 900 cc for a road guide, definitely. There is no doubt about it. And as it is a Japanese machine, I'm sure you know how Japanese machines also perform. And it's more like a refined performance, when you know what I mean, refined performance rather than having a raw power boost or anything. It's very, very refined, and anybody who has a Z900 will stand by his motorcycle. So that's something that we want to put across. Yes, I know we've taken a long time. I was planning for a session of 1 hour, and we've already hit a 1.5 hour mark. Sorry, Shahnawaz, for keeping you waiting for this long. I didn't
No, that's
expect
fine.
this will go this long. Yeah. So just to sum this up, all of this, if just one last question, if somebody had to prep his motorcycle for an adventure or a enduro training. For example, he has a Himalayan. What
Right.
are the basic modifications or upgrade you think is necessary for something like a Himalayan if he has to be serious off-road? Say so this word called off-road has been misused or abused a lot for a lot of people, so that's why I don't want to use off-road. I would rather say adventure riding or enduro riding.
Right.
What are the basic upgrades you think is the
So,
best?
I would say that motorcycles like Himalayan, X-Pulse are ready with majority of the things.
Okay.
You don't need any modifications as such.
Hmm.
I would say that majority of the things are in there. You would probably need
Okay.
to add some protection like a hand guard or something like that,
Okay. Okay.
because you would want to save the not just the hand but also the livers, etc.
Levers.
Uh,
Yes.
I don't think there's anything which is required. But the other thing which I want to tell everyone is that training in a training, I don't ask you to do berserk things on day one or in the morning itself, right?
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
I build up the training in a way that you will initially feel, यार ये क्या करा रहा है, ये तो बहुत basic चीज है. But then you will appreciate by lunchtime that all of those things that you have done in the morning really adds up into the whole learning phase. And
It's like
then
the Karate Kid one. Karate Kid
yeah,
movie you've seen. It's exactly trying to give somebody the basic stuff where we don't understand. I remember one of the dance which we were saying when we were standing, we were doing this.
yeah,
I don't remember which song did you mention, but then like you rightly mentioned, we were thinking, why are you making us do this? You were making us more fluid, you know, without the motorcycle,
comfortable with
and
that
then
position.
exactly, very true. Comfortable with that position, and once when you're on the motorcycle, it becomes so easy for you because you've already
Yeah.
practiced that. Very well said. Very well said. So that's something that you've been doing, and much appreciated. And also, thank you so much for imparting your knowledge. And thanks, first of all, thanks for coming on board and making this session happen. A lot of people have been benefited with this session, and also by posting this again on IGTV, I'm sure a lot of people would want to see this session and know from a professional like you what
Yeah.
does it mean to be an adventure rider trainer or an enduro rider trainer, and also
Yes.
how they can train themselves through your mode of channel. It could be attending your training or anything. So guys, please follow Shahnawaz Karim, and he has another page also called Wheels Guru. Please follow that also for all his update from content and every bit of it. And then also ULKA Gears is another page that he has. So you can
There are
follow him
three
there
more,
as
don't
well.
worry.
So if you could just want to say those three, four more as well, what are the other things that
No, those are
uh,
different things. So I run a marketing consulting company as well, which
okay.
is by the name WG Media. Uh,
Okay.
and and rest are
Go on, go
still
on, go
under.
on. Let me explore more. I don't know about this part of your consultancy business. So go on, please tell me what are the other things.
No, other things are right now under cover. You will soon see.
Okay, unveil yes to happen. So thank you
Yes.
so much for being a part of this during the lockdown. So everyone who's been live with us, thank you so much for the support. Please stay at home. Please stay safe. take your vaccination on time. I hope, Shahnawaz, you had your vaccination as well.
Yeah, I had my
And
first dose. Now I'm waiting for the second one.
brilliant, brilliant. I had my first dose yesterday, and I wasn't too
Okay.
sure if would be in a shape to actually do today's session. So I wanted to inform you this morning if I would be in my best shape or not, because they say that you might have a fever, you might have this
Yeah.
and that and all of
Which
it.
one you
But
got?
then lucky, I got the Covaxin.
Covaxin. Nice.
Yes, yes. So yesterday, after about a month of daily sitting on the mobile phone trying to get a slot, got an
Uh,
opportunity yesterday to go and vaccinate myself. So got it done. So thank you also for getting yourself done. Please spread this word across. Please keep your close ones safe and yourself safe, and also your loved ones safe also. And
Absolutely.
do not venture out unless it is absolute necessary, and do not get into any kind of trouble with cops or with your health by going out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
So
one
any
one
last
thing which I
words? Yes.
one thing which I would like to add is that
Yes.
your life is very precious. You might feel that you can do a lot more when you are young, and I was also like the same. But I would also tell you that and this is biologically proven. Okay, up till your 20s, your frontal lobe of your brain has not developed.
Okay.
Okay, which is why in before 20s we end up doing those stupid mistakes. and
I can totally relate to what you say myself, and I'm sure what you might have also gone through.
yes, it's true. And that frontal lobe is the decision making part, which helps you take decisions across your life. So बहुत सारे लोग बोलते थे ना कि अकल जाड़ आ रही है,
Correct.
the
Correct.
wisdom teeth, they
Wisdom
come
tooth.
only once your frontal lobe has developed. So it is
Okay.
that way linked. So I'm
Okay.
talking physiology, but it is true. So
Mm.
don't do anything stupid. Don't make stupid mistakes. Protect yourself, protect your family, not just
Yes.
on the motorcycle, but during these kind of pandemic scenarios. And ride with proper riding gear. And if you have the luxury of getting trained, please do get trained. I'm not saying just get trained from me. There are many places
Yes.
which you can get trained. Any training is good training till the time you are willing for it.
Very well said. Very well said. So thanks a lot. With that word of wisdom, we call this session an end. And definitely, we would want to do more of these sessions going
Yes,
forward, Shahnawaz, and get
yes.
more insights, and also probably on the current trending topics, and ask you certain questions during
Oh
that
yeah,
time.
I would
I
love
didn't
to do
want
that.
Yes, because I didn't want to make this session too technical, because a lot of our audience would not be technical guys, and didn't want to make it technical. So wanted to make it more light and easy content that we can absorb. So I wanted to keep it very basic questions.
Yes.
We will have a technical question and answer very soon.
Yep.